China mosque demolition sparks standoff in Ningxia. Hundreds of Muslims in western China are engaged in a standoff with authorities to prevent their mosque from being demolished. Officials said the newly completed Weizu Grand Mosque in Ningxia had not been given proper building permits. But worshippers refused to back down. One resident said they won't let the government touch the mosque. China is home to some 23 million Muslims, and Islam has been prominent in Ningxia province for centuries. But rights groups say there is increasing official hostility towards Muslims in China. How did the protests begin? Officials had on 3 August posted a notice that the mosque would be forcibly demolished as it had not been granted the necessary planning and construction permits. The notice was shared online among the ethnic Hui Muslim community, according to Reuters news agency. Many questioned why authorities did not stop construction of the mosque, which took 2 years to complete, if it had been granted relevant permits, according to the Hong Kong-based South China Morning Post newspaper. Protests were held outside the mosque on Thursday and continued into Friday, say the reports. Pictures circulating on Chinese social media showed large crowds gathering outside the large white building, which has several soaring minarets and domes. One resident said talks between the Hui community and the government had reached an impasse. "We're just in a standoff," the resident, who withheld his name, told the Post. The public won't let the government touch the mosque, but the government is not backing down. It remains unclear if the original plan to begin the demolition on Friday will go ahead, or if a compromise has been reached. An official from the local county's Islamic Association said that the mosque would not be demolished entirely. He told Reuters the government only wanted the structure renovated to reduce its scale. There has been no comment so far in Chinese state media on the case. In theory, China's constitution guarantees religious freedom, but in practice, religious activities still remain tightly controlled by the government. Christian churches, for example, have in the past been forced to remove crosses from their roofs, after the government said the symbol broke planning rules. In recent years, officials have become particularly wary of foreign religious influences, and authorities have targeted unofficial house churches connected to overseas missions. While Hui Muslims have largely been well-integrated and left free to practice their religion, Uyghur Muslims in western Xinjiang province have faced growing government pressure. Rights groups say citizens in Xinjiang are facing increasingly intrusive methods of government surveillance and control, with many punished for extremist behavior like wearing veils in public places, or refusing to watch public radio and TV programs. Thousands of Uyghurs are also believed to have been forcibly sent to education camps. According to Human Rights Watch, detainees are forced to renounce their ethnic and religious identities. But the current move to demolish the Ningxia mosque is indication that the government is now looking to extend control over other Muslim ethnic minorities, says rights groups Amnesty International. It's clear that the Chinese government's hostility towards Muslims in China is not only limited to Uyghurs, researcher Patrick Poon told the BBC. Hui Muslims are generally considered less vulnerable to crackdowns, but this incident proves that the government is determined to use a holistic and heavy-handed approach towards all Muslim ethnic minorities in China.